Let's see, maybe adjust the... Okay, we're not too loud. There, that better? Yeah. Did it go back? I can't hear it. It's fine. So, probably not, but maybe wondering, why did I start recording when I haven't for like 4 months? And that's because, well, there's not really a good reason, honestly. It was summer. I was kind of being lazy. I did do a couple things. Uh, report on the cats. I haven't told you a whole lot about them. We had one cat, Peaches. She came sat on my lap for a couple of the streams. But recently we got a new little kitten named Sour Cream. Well, named something else, but we renamed it Sour Cream. And at first, Peachy really did not like sour cream, but now they're kind of buds. Peachy's still a little angry at her every once in a while. Um, but also, here's this one game. This War of Mine, I've been playing it a decent amount over the summer, and I've come to like it, and I think you will too, because it's really good for just like stories, because there's a set of rules and all that, which just allow you to make your own story. As you can see, I've played like 4 of these. We're gonna play on this guy's. I am slightly sick, so my voice isn't the best, but I'll try to like read to you well. Day 1. We got shelter in an abandoned home. It was nice for the war and quite spacious, but still in ruins. It had been shelled recently. Surrounded by in the capital by the government military, the rebels refused to surrender. Caught in the middle of the fighting with no running water or phones, struggling with lack of food and medications are civilians. In a civil war, everyone is affected, one way or another. Roman used to fight for the rebels, but he became disillusioned and ran away. Erica came to the capital, fleeing persecutions in her hometown. Bruno has been cut off by the siege from his home and his dearest friend. Homeless on the run with nothing to lose but their lives, they band together to survive. I'm not sure about you. I'm gonna turn this volume like way down. There. You can still kind of hear it. The temperature is in Celsius. It, 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 I'll tell you when it's too cold and too warm. And I hope know. To start off, we saw what was at the house. We had water and food. It was enough to start off, for sure. We would be well supplied. Not having too many problems, hopefully. We all had the same hope that the war would end soon. We weren't sure if that was realistic, though. We found a knife. Hopefully we wouldn't need it at any time, but we all knew that at some point we'd need it for something. Hopefully enough not for attacking anyone. We all hoped it wouldn't come to that. We knew we'd have to start building fortifications and such, so we started to do that. Starting off, we built a radio so we could stay in contact with at least a little bit of the outside world without risking the danger of going outside. We, at the top of the house, found a lockpick. We decided to use it on the closet all the way downstairs. We thought it would be easy enough to get those supplies, and hopefully there was something good in there. In there we found medicine, sugar, water, and bullets. The medicine was quite nice, but what were we gonna do with bullets and sugar? Then after that, we decided to make a basic stove so we could at least cook something to survive, as we would all get hungry soon. Sadly, we knew this. Sadly enough, we didn't have enough resources to make a bed even. But at least we could see what was going on in the outside world and also make food, so we were fine for now. Looking at the radio, it seemed that the rebel leader instructed us to warn the listeners not to cross the front lines. Failures to comply could result in death. We now knew that we weren't escaping until this war was over. That we were trapped. Then night appeared. Roman decided to go scavenge the first day. See if there was anything safe to get without being too useless. He didn't want to take the knife with him, as he didn't want any combat or people hurt. But he did want us also defended, so he kept it with us at the house. He went out at night, trying to be as careful as possible. He thought that there was no one here, but there truly was no knowing. There was a baby carriage. It wasn't empty. A few objects lie scattered inside. A rattle, a smiling red crab, well worn by the baby's teeth. A feeding bottle half full of congealed mass. That was probably a baby formula. Someone must have left in a terrible rush, or maybe didn't need them anymore. Oh my gosh. I like this game because it's very down to earth and different. Like, I don't know many other games that, like, show the reality of war in a lot of ways. Like in this game, if you get shot and get wounded, when you go back home, you're not all fixed up. You have to then get bandages and such, which are hard to get, and patch yourself up for the chance for you to maybe make it. On the scavenge, he found some very good stuff. He thought that he could make a bed now, which was correct. And we could all use a night's rest, but we all knew that next night it'd be the same. We were all tired and hungry. Some of us just slept poorly, and some of us didn't sleep at all. But in the end, it was just as bad for all of us. But at least we had a bed now. Things were getting better, I think. We tried to make multiple beds to let multiple people sleep comfortably, because the ground wasn't quite the best to sleep on. Oh yeah, and just so you guys know, doesn't really matter, but the kitten that we got is right on me, so if I just squeal or something, that's not the right word, but like, just go silent like that, probably because I'm just petting the cat or something. Okay. We couldn't make any food, even though we were all terribly hungry. We had raw meat, but no one dared eat that. It had been sat out, and if it were cooked, hopefully enough, it could be eaten, but even if we did, it wouldn't fill our stomachs. We couldn't do much for that day, besides just sit down and rest, and wait for the night the next day. We at least had beds now. Things seem to be getting better, but how long would they stay that way? How long till winter? and long-tailed bandits. We simply sat and waited, seeing if anyone would come over, knock at our door. We sat and waited. No one seemed to be here to rescue us. We were still stuck. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. We wanted to go to sleep, but we felt that there wasn't any time to go to sleep. Like, there was always a looming danger somewhere. Even if not right in front of us. Thankfully enough, no one was sick at all, even though we had meds. We had to protect those because they were valuable out here. If one of our people got sick or if we ran out of something, we could trade them or use them. And with doing that, we ended the night to scavenge another day. Next, Arika scavenged. Since it seemed that the ruined block of flats was a safe place to visit, we thought to go there again. He said that there was plenty of supplies left there. Hopefully he was right. Hopefully. Though we thought it was safe, we didn't want to take any chances. Went slowly and quietly through the dark. We had no protection out there. Just our bare fists, which we weren't strong either. Weak and hungry. Going back into like me mode, I'm actually thinking of on this channel doing reviews of games, which I haven't done yet. So we're gonna see if that works out well or not. We found the jackpot in one room. It was all basic supplies, but that was what we needed at the time. Arika ran out of the area, still not knowing if someone was there. Not for sure. So this game lasts like 30 to 40 to 50 days, I can't remember. The night was calm. We got quite a bit of supplies too. We could build and hopefully make food for us, so we were all still hungry. At least it was warm. Things could have been worse, but they weren't, thankfully. Bruno decided that since we seemed to still not have any good supplies for making anything, that we should cook, make some food. So now that we had wood, now that we had kindling, he used the books and a bit of wood to make something that the stove could use. It wasn't perfect or even good, but with his cooking, which he was quite good at, hopefully enough we could make something nice for some of us. Even though we were all hungry, some of us still wouldn't get to eat. We were low on water, low on food, tired. Out of nowhere, someone banged on the door. We were wondering what it was. They seemed to be safe, so we opened the door. It seemed that it was a trader. Quite nice, just what we needed. He had a lockpick. We could use that. He had water. All the things we need, but what could we give him? We had herbs, bullets, shells, weapon parts. We could manage to give him something. We got a lockpick and some water. And in exchange for that, we gave just some basic things. We found some shell cases for a shotgun. Not useful for us, but he might find some use for it. And then we also had sugar. We didn't know what to do with this right now. It was tasty, but we didn't need it. Then we gave a couple of gun parts. That was a deal. He accepted. We immediately went downstairs to see about the other door we could open. We had dug it out, so sure, let's see what was in there. Thankfully enough, we knew what to do, and we found some valuable jewels. Honestly, not in the war useful. They might have been worth something, but not even worth the amount we paid for the lockpick. It wasn't worth it, but now we knew. Now we didn't have to waste time or resources later. Thankfully enough, the trader hadn't left yet. He seemed to be quite patient. We saw what he had. It was a nice selection, as said before. We saw what we needed to see the trades. We wanted to make a better workplace so we could make things better. But for that we'd need some basic materials, which we could get. So, we saw what we need for some basic materials. And it didn't cost us too much, just a couple of bullets that we couldn't even use. That was all we needed, so we said our goodbyes and left. We were upgrading the workplace. The workbench, rather, should I say. We would be able to create more, hopefully, with this. And now we had made our first meal. This was a momentous occasion. We hadn't eaten in a while. It wasn't amazing, but it did the job for now. Worried, we wanted to board up this shelled house, make it slightly harder for people to get in, though we didn't have the resources even. We went into the radio. Seems the radio said, "You're listening to Radio Pagoran. We regret to announce that our colleague Jordan died this morning. He was shot by a sniper on his way to work. He will be missed." Sorry, I didn't really do the best voice there, but honestly, I don't really. Is he the one that took our cigarettes? Because I know that people can get it, like... Because I swear we had some roll-up cigarettes. And with doing all of that, we ended the day. And the only person who hadn't scavenged for once was Bruno, so he decided to go out during the night. He didn't think there was people there, so he just rushed through. Like, so many people had gone here and scavenged. What was the chances that someone wouldn't have shot him by now? We didn't have the best stuff, but some stuff that we needed. That was quite nice. In one shelled room, destroyed, there was a lot of rare, not rare, but needed resources. Sadly, Bruno couldn't carry all that much and had to leave it behind for the next person to get. So I'm thinking at like day 10 or something, I'll end the video, because honestly, I'm pretty tired. We had gotten raided. Someone tried to rob us. They must have been more scared than us, so they didn't do much harm at least. We had some weapons, not enough for everyone, but none of us were wounded. But the attackers walked off with many valuable things. We should have more people on guard. They took our food, our bullets, our water, our herbs. At least we got some things from scavenging. Dang, I should have someone on guard. Saw if we could build anything. Most of the stuff that I had gotten couldn't be built with or have much use, but it was something at least. All we could do was tune into the television. And once again they were saying, "You're listening to Radio Pagoran. We regret to announce that our colleague Jordan died this morning. He was shot by a sniper on his way to work. He will be missed." There, that's a decent voice for him. Yeah, sorry, I'm... And... Arika was getting very hungry. So, Bruna decided to do what he did and make some food for her. Though we didn't have any water, which was vital for food. Thinking of just giving vegetables that we had gotten, but they would have served us better as something in a soup. So we kept them and waited, ending the night. I used to be an optimist. One of those people who'd have sworn that war wouldn't come. Wars happened far away in third world countries, or so I thought. Even when I was listening to the news, getting scarier day by day, I did not believe that was about to happen. Yeah, there's a bit of story for each of them. We need to find more food or we'll starve. Or we'll start starving, but... As we couldn't do anything, we just ended the day. We sent Roman back. He went to the block of flats again. There was lots of resources there. Hopefully something we could use. He also thought by now there was no way anyone was here. It was unlivable. Though, by some standards, our place was unlivable too. We got plenty of bare resources. We plenty needed, but it wasn't the best to get. Found some vegetables. More resources. Most of this place seemed to be barred off. I guess they tried to protect themselves. There's at least a little bit of resources left here, though it had kind of been scavenged to the point where there wasn't much left here. This was where we were getting all our stuff. Where would we go next? We thought at this point, maybe we weren't gonna get water soon. Maybe we would, though. We thought, hey, maybe we could build something to filter the water. Which, surprisingly enough, it seemed that we could. This gave a little ray of hope. And we made that, because we had hope now. We could survive this. It would require a lot to keep it running, but we could make some filters, filter some water. It would last us a while. It's just what we need. At least we've got water down now. We could do anything at this point. This gave us quite a bit of ray of hope. As before, we thought we were doomed. Destined for failure. Out of nowhere, someone knocked on the door. Again. Wonder if it was the traitor again. I doubt it. Why would he be back so soon? I wouldn't be so bad. We do need water and such. It was someone needing our help. We thought about it for a second. And well, they needed us. And why not? They might help us at some point. That's all we can hope for. And if not, then at least hopefully they can survive. We would help board up their windows. Their husband hadn't returned, so we need to give them a little sympathy. So I'm thinking I will end the night right after this. I didn't play for long, but it's a long game, so I'll just stop it here. I will play more of this for sure. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to, but make sure to like subscribe to your... No, that doesn't make sense, but make sure to like yourself, no matter what. I'll say like and subscribe to yourself. Also, I'm not ending the video yet. That was a bit too early. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the one scavenge, then I'll end the video there. Not way back there. We were waiting for the water purifier to get us some nice water, though it seemed to be taking a while. Hopefully enough it would work in time and we wouldn't all die of starvation or something. Though it was just water. We would be fine for a little while. Thankfully enough, after a while, we actually got a bottle of water, and we put in our next filter. We knew it worked now. That was a relief. Now we wondered if we had enough to actually get a meal. If we had enough of other stuff, like wood. It didn't seem that it made us enough water. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully. We decided to just call it a night, and after that, Bruno went out again to scavenge. There wasn't much that he could actually scavenge from this place anymore, but he didn't know where else to go. And there was still some things valuable left, and we knew it was safe. And we didn't want to die yet. Hopefully enough we could make something to deal with those bars. Though, I don't think we would do anything like that for a while. That seems complicated to make. Hopefully not. It seemed that we had raided this place empty. There was nothing else that we could get from here. Unless we could climb up there, but we tried and we couldn't, so Bruno left, going back home. Hopefully everything would be fine when he got back. Day 6. So I'm gonna end it around here-ish. I made it without a single scratch. So you may not believe me, but these still are water. Ooh, and all our food. How though? Like, yeah, so we're gonna see, will Arika starve or not? That's a fun thing. I just love when that question is brought up in this game. As the game says, a lot of the time you just die for absolutely no reason. Make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to like yourself, no matter what.